What's up and welcome back to another video. My name is Miles Away. Now today I'm really excited to talk to you about two brand new VST plugins from Strymon, the Capistan and DIG, based off of two of their most popular pedals of the same name. Now the Capistan pedal was one of my first ever pedal purchases. This is the V2 version, which I reviewed last year, but the original was all over my records for years, and I still think that there's nothing on the market that sounds as close to real tape as the Capistan. The DIG, on the other hand, I've never used before, so I'm excited to check it out more with you guys, but I really liked what I heard so far, and it sounds like a really solid digital delay. If you like this kind of content, please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks to Strymon for sending over the VSTs early, and let's start off with a demo song that uses only these two plugins for all the effects. Alright, well hopefully you enjoyed the demo song and it gave you an idea of how these would work inside a project. They're super easy to load, they work great in Logic, and they're honestly pretty light on my CPU as far as my computer is concerned. Let's check out how they work. Alright, so here we are with the brand new plugins from Strymon. Now, as you can see here, and I mentioned in the intro, I have the Capistan and I am a huge fan of it, so we'll start off with that one. But before we do, the sound you're going to hear today is this MPE sound I'm playing from Equator 2 on the ROLI Seaboard. It's totally dry. All right, let's start off with the Capistan because it's the one I know the best. So right off the bat, the Cap is an emulation of a tape delay. So I'm going to turn down the spring reverb, which we'll get to, and we'll just hear what the first preset sounds like. Absolutely beautiful, right? So we can notice a bunch of things. We can notice that the repeats are really warm and they're quite saturated, but we can change a lot of the parameters here, which is one of the things that makes Cap so powerful compared to a lot of other tape delay pedals that I've used. So let's turn everything down here and we're just going to hear the most clean delay sound possible. We're going to go to the single moving head just at a fixed speed. And that's what the repeats sound like. So a beautiful, lush, wide chorusing. We can also do 2 times as fast, which will give us a little bit more of a hi-fi sound with some interesting artifacts because this really simulates the tape literally going twice as fast. We'll go back to that. Let's turn down the feedback here, which is called repeats, and let's jump over to some of our controls here. So the main thing with the tape delay is obviously going to be the wow and flutter, which kind of simulates the warbliness of the pitch and the flutter of, you know, a tape that's maybe been left too long out in the sun. As we turn that up, turn it up to full. I mean, come on, already right there, that's beautiful. That is just absolutely fantastic. The tape crinkle is basically kind of similar. It's another tape irregularity parameter. I won't do this with every single one, but these are two of my favorites, so. Just kind of makes it all warm and cozy and just fuzzy without losing high end. So I really like tape crinkle. Let's dial in some wow. A low end contour is kind of like a really subtle high pass filter just to clean up that low end. The thing with tape delay is it can get a little murky. So I like to clean it up. How beautiful does that sound? The tape age is a really important one as well. it basically will degrade the top end frequencies of the tape, right? The final controls we're going to look at quickly here are the bias, which I actually don't use too often, which is going to basically simulate it being recorded much louder and create distortion. You already get a little bit of that, but with full, sounds like it's going through an overdrive pedal. Not really my thing. I'm going to leave it off, but it's great. And the spring reverb, which is a bonus, so we can take off our delay. It's a really good spring reverb emulation. So yeah, the final thing to go over is the different machine types. We've been listening to the single moving head, and then the main one that you're probably going to use is either the single fixed or the multi-fixed, which is just going to allow you to basically use different heads for a slower or faster delay time, and then sync it to your digital audio workstation. So for example, we can get, with single, some really, really nice slower or faster slapback style. And then multi is going to allow us to use multiple heads at the same time, which you can actually click on and off like that, right? So we could do all three. Kind of wild. You can change the overall speed here. But yeah, let's jump back to the single modes because those are my favorites. And let's just jam around because we've talked enough. Some spring reverb. We can get really ambient if we turn up the repeats. Listen to how good that sounds. Absolutely beautiful. The last thing I want to show you around the El Cap is what I alluded to earlier, which is that it can honestly be used pretty amazingly as a performance tool with the infinite repeat mode and then jumping between the 2x and 1x mode. So I've messed with some of the controls already, but I'm actually going to turn down the mix, turn down a bit of the craziness, and just basically get something a bit subtle going on here. And watch as what happens now that we have the infinite repeat mode engaged. We've got this beautiful track bed. If you've listened to any of my previous songs on the 2 halves of a hard EP, I use this trick all the time to create ambience behind my tracks. If it gets a little crazy, we turn it off. We'll let it build back up again. And let's jump it up. Next up, let's check out the Strymon DIG. Now, full transparency, like I mentioned before, I don't know this pedal too well. It was never one of the pedals that I used regularly, so this will be a first for me. But my understanding is that this is basically based off of the famous rack delays of the 80s, so the first ever digital delays. We have our basic sound here, which we're going to play. Let's just get our dry level up here. We'll click that lock button. And I guess it locks the overall mix. So we'll just keep it here. We're not going to be using the preset anyway. So let's make it something kind of basic and simple, but we'll sync it. So yeah, I like that. Quarter note and eighth notes here. So as you can see, you have 2 dual delays. And you're basically going to be able to choose independent ratios for each. So you've got like a true stereo delay. You could do like dotted quarters. I also really like that you can do like a full-on free mode here. Like if we want to do crazy slap back on one. And really long ones on the other, right? So let's go back to locking it to D1. So there's our first mode, which is really clean, high resolution conversion with just a little bit of hint of dynamics. And then let's check out ADM, which is a 1-bit high sample rate conversion technique that evolved from the telecommunications voice coding industry. Very interesting. Yeah, let's listen, compare back and forth quick. I like that one way more. This is like your standard classic digital delay. It sounds good, but I've got plugins that can do that. This has some magic in there. Let's jam on it for a sec. Love it. But then the one that I really have been enjoying playing with the most is the 12-bit one, which is the classic, basic, like early digital delay. It's funny how we always go for, at least me personally, the more degraded sounds versus the technically better quality ones. Let's play something in the key of E minor. Yeah, it's almost getting into like the analog delay or tape delay character with like that kind of degradation, and really, really vibey. Listen to those artifacts. Okay, that is really cool right there. I think right off the bat, just being transparent, like this is the mode that I'm going to use. I've already got other delay plugins for the kind of classic clean stuff. This is something I don't have in any other delay plugin, at least not to my knowledge, and not to this level of fidelity. So we've got some other controls here we'll go through quickly. It's a bit of a simpler plugin in my opinion overall, but yeah, you've got your modulation. Nothing. The mod is a little bit more subtle than on the El Cap, but it's very tasteful. It just like sits in the mix well. Same with tone, a little brighter, a little darker. Let's throw it around here. That sounds beautiful. And yeah, most importantly, the last three controls are going to be the different ways. So we have been hearing this in series mode so far. So basically with series, you're feeding delay 2 into 1. With ping pong, which I love, you're getting that big wide stereo image as a ping pong delay. Let's play that. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Really nice, right? And then parallel, which is a very interesting mode as well. Parallel will basically completely separately make them independent. So one ear gets one ear gets the other. Really good for those like polyrhythmic things that I mentioned that this does probably better than the El Cap. So I guess together they're a good combo. Right, classic. Yeah, so let's finish it off by jamming on the dig then. Let's go back to the ping pong mode. We'll change the delay time here to something a bit slower. In fact, I'm just gonna go free. Yeah, there we go. We'll add the feedback here and let's go crazy and jam.
Got some Dune vibes there. That is sounding massive.
All right, well, that's where I'll wrap things up for today. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Do you like El Capistan, DIG, both of them, neither of them? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. For me personally, I was actually really pleasantly surprised with the DIG, especially on 12-bit mode. That was really cool, and that to me justifies it over the swath of other digital delays I have, like Replica, which has kind of been my go-to delay for a while. But for me, my heart will always be with the El Capistan. There's a reason why I bought the first one of these pedals and I kept it for years. There's a reason why I've used the V2 on so many records. There's just something about that algorithm that speaks to me and works for the kind of music I create. And I'm over the moon that for under $100, under $80 if you just want only that one, you can get that quality of a digital tape delay plugin and put it on every single track in your DAW, limitless. You don't need 20 of these pedals. So for me personally, the El Cap is probably going to be the one I use more, but the DIG was awesome as well. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks again to Strymon for sending the codes early, and I will see you guys in the next video.